Hello people and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video I will take you through the process of me editing a short form content. Before our video actually start, don't forget to join our Discord, which you can find in the first link in the description. So as you can see on Capcut, I've already imported a 12-minute podcast and kept only 35 seconds of it. So here is what we are working with at the moment.
There are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation itself is technically...
So as you can see in our video, there is a lot of silences and a little bit of stuttering that I'm gonna cut out to make the video a little bit shorter and make sure this tutorial isn't gonna be too long. So I will proceed to cut out all the unwanted parts and I will see you then. So here you go, this is what we're working with at the moment.
There are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation itself is technically in the construct of adherence is just one of the parts of it. There's inspiration, there's motivation, there's habit, and then there's something called passion, which once you have a passion for something, you no longer ask questions of motivation.
So first of all, let's make sure that it is in vertical format instead of a horizontal video. So we're gonna click anywhere in the timeline. You're gonna go to modify, and here instead of original, you're gonna click on 9:16. And you're gonna press save. So what we're gonna do is resize our scene right here, make it bigger, and drag our character to the middle. So you're gonna copy the settings and paste them on your other clips. Let's make sure to do the same with our last clip, which has a little bit of different framing. As you can see, our character is a lot closer to the camera. So I'm gonna make it bigger and make it fit in the middle of the screen. So here is what we're working with once our video is reframed. So what I'm gonna do next is select our first clips that are kinda look-alike and press Alt-G to make them into a compound clip. So for our intro, as you can see,
there are a couple things to say about motivation.
And I'm just gonna cut our video right here. You're gonna select it, press Ctrl B, and I'm gonna duplicate our first part of the video. So you have two options to duplicate. So you either select your video and click on copy, then paste it right here, or the faster way is you select it, press and hold Alt, and then you drag your clip, and there you go, you have it duplicated. Make sure to select your top clip and go to audio and mute it. Now what you're gonna do is select your first clip and go to video, cutouts, and auto cutout. So what I just did by clicking on auto cutout is I separated our character from its background. As you can see, if I hide the bottom layer, we have no background. So the effect that I want to create is some text dropping from the top of our video at the same time as our character drops slightly down and leaves space for the text. So what I'm gonna do is start working with some keyframes. So I'm gonna go to the start of the video and make a keyframe right here, go slightly forward, add a new one, forward, and make another one, and make sure our character goes a little bit down. So as you can see at the moment, here is our animation.
There are a couple things to say about motivation.
But as you can see, since we have duplicated our layer, you can see the top of his head right here. So we are going to try to fix that. So you're gonna select your media right here, go to library. We're gonna bring in this black video right here. Make sure to slide it in between our two layers, and you're gonna right click, go to edit, and click on freeze. You're gonna delete your video right here and just keep your freezed layer. We're gonna make sure it fits the length of our video. I'm gonna make sure that it fits the top of the screen. I'm gonna go to mask, horizontal mask, bring it slightly down, and put some feather on it. But as you can see, it's hiding our principal character. So what I'm gonna do is go to basic and make sure that it is behind our character. As you can see, it fixed a little bit of our issue. And I'm gonna add an animation to our black background by selecting it, go to animation, go to in, make sure it is a slide down animation. There you go.
There are a couple things to say about motivation.
So our next step is that, as you can see, I've imported a noise and scratch effect that I'm gonna import to add some more texture to our background. So I'm gonna import it to our layer. I'm gonna make sure it fits the length of our video. I'm gonna put it behind our character. Make sure to add the same animation. So there you go. As you can see, I've made our intro a little bit longer.
There are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation itself.
So now we're gonna add some text. So we're gonna go click on the top left right here on text. We're gonna go to add text and slide in our default text. So your text right here, I suggest you make it shorter and concise so that it will be faster and easier to read. So I'm just gonna type no motivation and keep it as simple as I can. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, bring it a little bit down, choose another color. I'm gonna go with the yellow one. I'm gonna add shadow, slight glow with a brighter color, reduce the intensity, and I'm gonna do the same with the first text. So there you go for our text, and let's play with animation. We're gonna click on the first text, go to animation. So I'm gonna go with the simple ink print one, and as for our second text, we're gonna go with the simple typewriter effect. So as you can see, here is our text.
There are a couple things to say about motivation.
So what I'm gonna do now is select both our text layers and right click, create compound clip, or press Alt G. So I'm gonna go to the end of our clip right here, and I'm gonna go to video, basic, add a keyframe right here, and go to the end of our video and bring our character to the bottom of the video. I'm gonna space out the keyframes to make it a little bit smoother. So as you can see,
one is motivation.
Our character goes to the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna space them even more to make it more smooth, and I'm gonna try to make our text animation match the movement of our character. So I'm gonna press on our compound clip right here, go to animation, out, and go to slide down animation. So here is what we're working with at the moment.
Motivation. One is motivation itself is
so I'm gonna make sure that when our character and text goes to the bottom of the screen, I want our black background and our noise glitch effect to take all the space on the screen. So what I'm gonna do right here is select our freeze layer, add a keyframe right here, go to the end of the video, and make sure that it fits all our screen. I'm gonna animate the feather of our mask as well, so I'm gonna go to the first keyframe and add a keyframe right here. Leave it as it is at 45. Go to the second keyframe and bring it to 0. Let's see how it looks.
Motivation. One is motivation itself is
so as you can see, if I make it a little bit longer, and here is our effect at the moment.
One is motivation itself is
I'm gonna go and do the same with the noise glitch. I'm gonna make it longer and start playing with the keyframes. So after playing with our background, here is what we are working with.
There are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation.
So next step is that I'm gonna add a paper texture right here, because I wanna type in what he is talking about. So as you can see, I've already imported a black paper effect right here that I'm gonna import. I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees, make sure it fits on our screen. I actually don't like the animation of our texture right here, so what I'm gonna do is right click, go to edit, freeze, and delete the video. Just keep the freeze frame, and it is, as you can see, a static image instead of a video. So I'm just gonna modify one thing before moving to the next step, is that I'm gonna go to our compound clip here of our text. I'm gonna click on it and put it behind our character. That adds a little bit of 3D effect that I really like in this type of videos. So as you can see,
there are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation.
So now that we have added our paper effect, we're gonna add an animation to make it appear a little bit smoother. So I'm gonna click on it, I'm gonna go to animation, in, and I'm gonna add a slide down effect. So after adding a slide down effect to our paper texture right here, is a little bit too static. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to effects, and I'm gonna add a pendulum effect to our paper scratch effect right here. I'm gonna bring down the twist and the strength, and as you can see, this actually adds some animation to our static image.
Is motivation itself is technically.
So to actually illustrate what he is talking about in this part of the video, I've already imported some icons that I'm gonna animate. So we have this motivation icon right here. I'm gonna add an animation to it. So next is I'm gonna add this dotted arrow right here to illustrate his second point. And I'm gonna animate them by selecting them, go into mask, go with mirror mask, and put it as small as it can be so that we can't see any pixel of our layer. Add a keyframe right here, make sure that our keyframe is at the start of our layer. Go a little bit forward and make it bigger. There you go. So here's the animation for our first arrow.
Constructive adherence is just...
What you can do is duplicate your animated layer and make few adjustments with it. I'm gonna duplicate it again, make sure it starts later, and what I'm gonna do is make sure to rotate them. So here is what we are working with at the moment.
Is motivation itself is technically in the construct of adherence is just one of the parts of it. There are a couple things to say about motivation. One is motivation itself is technically in the construct of adherence is just one of the parts of it. There's inspiration, there's motivation, there's habit, and then there's something called passion, which once you have a passion for something, you no longer ask questions of motivation.
So that was it for our today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you're very welcome in the comments. And don't forget to join our Discord, which you can find in the first link in the description if you want to download our assets or if you want to chat with other video editors. Thank you guys and see you later.